Alright, let's do this file system. File system problem for today. You're asked to design a file system that allows you to create new paths and associate them with different values. The format of a path is one or more concatenated string of the form slash followed by one or more lowercase English letters. For example, slash LeetCode or valid pass while empty string and okay. Where create path where it creates a path and associates a value to it if it's possible and returns true. Returns false if the path already exists or if its parent's path doesn't exist. Okay. Okay. I think some kind of nested map is kind of fire here. So slash LeetCode, right? So we'll split by the slash here. So split path by the slash. Use a map to keep building. Use a map to build the. Use a map to build the tree. If the path already exists or if parent's path doesn't exist. Or build to build the system, right? Okay, so if if we've already seen leak, can there be like multiple? Like, okay, for example, slash lead. Okay, so the exact path, I see. Okay. This would be, well, that's different. Okay. So slash returns true, slash lead slash code returns true. So it can be in multiple, but if it's the exact path, so we're out of the thing. Okay, so we'll have like a map, so it's like multiple layers. So like, so like first this is the path, so we'll do like lead. And then the lead will have nothing, or it can go to code, and we'll have we'll lead one. It could be like this, and then it can have another layer. So we can have code, which is to obviously the value 2. Maybe having a node is nice. Split the path by the string. Use a map to build the system. File system. A value to it if possible returns true. False if the path already exists or if the parent path doesn't exist. Returns a value associated with the path or returns -1 if the path doesn't exist. Okay. That's the thing. This doesn't really exist. This doesn't make sense. You can only have one value, so. It should be like this. It'll either have 1, like have an end, or it can keep going. Yeah. And have code, and then it will have this, and then it'll have the number 2. Maybe it can look like this. Maybe we could have our file system look like this. I don't know. Like, I think it can look like this. Right? Okay, so I have an idea. Okay. The problem is, like, I don't know how I can, like, differentiate another dictionary versus, like, oh, you're at the end. Right? Like, we can do stuff like this. Use a map to build the file system, 1 to end, this to that. Dot map. Okay, so system, and then parts path dot split by this print parts. Let me just see this really quick. We have A. Okay. So we have the parts. And I don't know why I get this. Why does it do that? Is it because it starts with that? I'll do like path like this. Yeah, that's a little cleaner. I don't like having the space there. Okay, so for every part file in parts, file name, for every file name in parts, what do we do here? I guess we can start with the root. So we'll say self.file file system, right? And then it's like if the exact path exists, yeah, so we'll start there, then basically kind of traverse the the thing, or I'll say current. So cur equals, so first, okay, if file name not in cur, then file name of cur equals, what's the opposite, cur equals file name, right? Or cur of that. Actually, let's do a default dictionary dict. Oh my god. Default dict. Yeah. If it is, then we won't do that. Then I guess we don't even need this. Just do that. And then I just need to identify, when do we just like stop doing, like, how do we know that it's like a path that already exists? I don't want to override it, you know? If the path exists, then okay, let me just do something real quick. So print self.file system. Then I can just check, like, if there's any no values. Like, if I don't have a value, then that's good, right? If I do, then you don't. That's bad. Okay. If file name not in cur. Does that work? Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, I'll just do a normal dictionary. Then at file name equals the dictionary. Then we just move on there. And let me see this thing. Okay, nice. So we have A. We have lead code. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. So we have code, C and D. Okay. If I like visualize this really quick. Yeah, let me just format this really quick. Huh? Okay, I guess we're not allowed to do these. Yeah. That? Okay. So basically, I have this. Then I'll have a let me also print cur. Yeah. Yeah, I should be add an empty one. An empty dictionary. Where the parent is. Okay, yeah, this is good. I think this is good. Okay, so basically, so I assume the last one was CD. I should be at this one right here, and yeah, yeah. Where should I put the value? I don't know where to put the value. Creates a new path associated value. If possible, returns true. Return false if the path already exists or its parent path does not exist. Okay. So what does that mean? Oh yeah, that's fine. So yeah. Wait, what? Returns the false if the path already exists. Yeah. I just need to put something at the end, and if there's already something there, okay, that's why I want a node. Let's do a try node. Right, where we can pass in value. Nah, it's fine. Self dot is end false dot next. It's just this, yeah. So let me fix this now. Try. It's like a similar pattern try now. So we create that, yep. And then that's that. Okay. Then we'll say cur dot next. Whoops. We say cur dot next. Then cur dot next equals file name try node. And then okay. Dot next. And at the end, cur dot is end. We should also store the value. Value. Yeah. Everyone else is gonna have none except for the last one. So is end, right? If cur dot is end, then return return false. If you're not, I mean, you are though. Oh yeah, if you're created like brand new, then cur dot is n equals true. Cur dot val equals value, and return true. Yeah, that makes sense to me, right? Does that make sense here? Okay, so let's see. Give me a second here. Print self.file system. Okay. Just give me a second. Yeah. Getting should be relatively easy, right? So it's the same kind of parsing logic. Actually, it should be kind of the same as this. Right? Split file system for file name and parts. Yep. Not in this, then we can just return -1 immediately. Other than that, do that and then return cur.val. That makes sense to me. Yeah. Okay, a little better. Okay. Problem is I'm getting null this time. Returns negative if the path doesn't exist. Returns false if the path already exists or if its parent path doesn't exist. Okay. I think this is the bad logic here. So we take the part, we take the as this root, and then okay, check if the thing is there. Then we create another try node. Yep. Then we say cur equals cur dot next dot file. Ooh, no. That's the problem. Well, yeah, that's fine actually. Yeah, this is dot next dot file name. Ah, crap. Wait. I should always be pointing to a try node. Am I doing that here? Dot next. Okay, dot value and then self dot name. Which I should probably pass in. Yeah. This one does not care. So this one... This one, yeah, I have to put it to the file name. Yeah. Also, if file name not in... Jeez. Actually, this is gonna be cooked. File name... Okay, I think I cooked everything. Hold on, let me just undo everything. I think the map was better. I think the map was way better. I just messed up everything because I can't check if you're in the right row, you know. So like, curve file name is this, that, and then let me just visualize this again. I just have like a here, like okay, if cur does not equal this, right? Then, or if it equals this, then if cur equals this, I just need to indicate that I'm at the end. How else do I do that? So create a new path and associate its value to it if possible. Return true. Return false if the path already exists or its parent path doesn't exist. Returns the value associated with the path or returns -1 if the path doesn't exist. Come on, bro. I'm so fucking ass. Create a new path and associates a value to it if possible and returns true. Returns false if the path already exists or if the parent path doesn't exist. Bro, it's so simple. I've done millions of problems like this, but I can't figure out how do I know if I'm at the end of something. Well, if I'm at the thing, I can say cur of this equals the actual value, right? But if I'm already, if this is in cur, then return false. Otherwise, that's fine, right? Yeah. Now it's a matter of just simply parts. Now it's just a matter of just simply going through the thing again, having our cur here, self.file system, and then cur equals cur. So first off, if the file name not in cur, return -1, return cur. Just 1 second. It's probably not cur. Then we say cur equals cur of file name. And then let me just print cur real quick. Perfect. Return cur of this. And it will give me the value. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know why that was so difficult to do. That should work, I think. Okay, if not in cur, then return -1. I don't know why that would be the case though. Huh, that's weird. Wait, why am I getting... Oh, crap, hold on. Return true. A little bit better, but I'm getting true, but I should get false. Wait, why? Let me read this again. So, okay, we create a file system, we create a path, returns true. That's why. Well, no, that's fine. Wait. So create path, LeetCode this. Let me just see the print self.file system. Should be easy. Yeah, at least I'll return this. Or not, actually, I'll return this dictionary. And I'll say, is this in our thing? Then return. Oh, that's not bad. Well, I think that's fine. So. Huh. Okay, I'm getting true, but when I shouldn't? I should get false? Why? What is false here? Return true, returns false. Return false because the parent passed C. Oh. Oh, I create a new one. What? Oh. Because the parent path doesn't exist. Wait, I don't get this. There's a new path associated values. Okay, so the parent must be this? Oh, okay. Like, is the parent always has to be Leet? Okay, then that makes things a little bit weirder. Okay. So, like, I shouldn't even have this branch at all. Well, then I'll just do this. Like, if parts of 0 not in cur, then return false. Right? Like, I always have to have that. And then, of course, this one is already, this is checking for if there's already a thing there. Oh, we read a value then? No, of course, we want to return false. This one, if it's just the root is not the same. And the root is created by the first thing ever. Okay. That's a boring, that's kind of a bad constraint in my opinion. Okay, that just makes everything worse. Wait, let me just print parts of 0. A, Leet, and C. So if it's not in cur, return false. Yeah. Why am I getting false? Is it this one? Bruh. So we get bruh, Libra. Oh, so all of them are like that? Why? Not incur. Why? Wait, is that false? Print. God, this is taking a little bit too long than I expected to be. Oh, yeah, duh. You fucking idiot. Okay, and cur. And cur. Yeah, and cur. Yeah. Make sure you're truthy. So basically what we're doing here is splitting the parts, getting the cur, check if you're not in the cur and the cur is not empty. That means you don't share the same root. Then, okay, let's just assume that it is empty and it shares the same root. Then we'll iterate. Check as soon as you find something that's not in the thing, that's fine. We'll make you a new one. Because, like, you can branch off from the root, because we were saying. But, yep, the first time, yep. Then, if it isn't, then we just move on to delete. Then we say, all right, is file name code not incurred? That's fine. So we make say code equals an empty one. And then we move on to code, which is still going to be an empty thing. And then check if a thing is here. Then if it's not, that's good. So, yeah. Okay, that's a lot better. Oh, my God. This problem actually sucks, bro. So I'm getting true. I should get false. ZXT and ZX. Okay, ZT. Okay. All of them are false. I'm getting just true. Which is fine, I think. I got the numbers right, so that's good. But the oh, actually, yeah, this is weird, I think. Hold on. If the $sign is not incur, return -1. For whatever reason, if $sign not incur, then return the $sign. I'm returning true here. Why? Yeah, I'm returning false because I'm creating a new one. Why do I return false here? Oh my God, bro. Is it because there's no ZT? What? This is such a shitty problem. Format is concatenated followed by one, for example, leads and equals are valid paths speak while empty string or not. Creates a new path associated value if possible returns false if the path already is. Hold on, I need to see a hint. Okay. The problem here is like, what is a valid, like, do I always have to, for a payment path that's quite possible, this is very important. Yeah. Return true if the parent path exists. For example, AB returns false because A does not exist. Brother. Oh my God. Okay, I'll fucking code another part. If parts of, so if the root doesn't exist, not incur, and length of parts greater than length of parts greater than length of cur, also false. That is another edge case because I don't want to go in, like, I can't have it more than like, I have to have ZT created first, then I can only do that. That's so weird, bro. Oh my god, it just fucks up everything, bro. What is this stupid solution? I hate this, like. Rephrase it to return true if a parent path exists. There is no parent. Okay. So don't make a try by characters even though JI exists. For invalid creation, do not create. Just return false. It's okay for the full path to be created as long as it's not associated with a value that's never been a leaf. I don't know why this is being weird. Okay. So the top level, like I have to have A. Like I have to have Li. Isn't that what it's doing here? If I'm saying, okay, if the top level exists in Cur, then bueno. But what is this one? This one, ZT doesn't exist, so I can't go in. Okay, let's do another case. So basically, if ZT okay, let's say oh, and there's something in the thing. No, just say it doesn't even matter if there's anything here. If parts of not is not in the Cur and length of parts is greater than 2 or greater than 1. Yeah, if you're not in Cur and the parts is way bigger than, like, you can't create a path where the root doesn't even exist. So the root is not in the current level and you have a lot ways to go. If you're not in there but you still have, yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. I don't think that's gonna break anything. Yeah, I think that's fine now. Bro, this problem is so AIDS. What now? I don't even know what's wrong with this. Alright, I'm just going in, bro. What the fuck is the problem here? Yes, that's literally what I did. Oh, there's another one. Path equals slash or length of path equals 0 or path in self.paths. Wait, do we have to sanitize? Let me see. If not path or path equals slash, return false. Okay, I guess there's some fucking edge cases that I didn't consider. If not path or path equals just this, return false. Any other shits, bro? That's not gonna fix anything. And then, yeah, that's what I did. Okay. Yep. I is length of fullest. The parent type does not exist. That's what I'm checking for, though. I'm literally checking if the first thing and you're not in cur. Alright, what is wrong with this one here? I don't know what's wrong with my solution here. This is like the wrong value. This is unreadable, bro. This is supposed to be a pretty simple problem in my opinion, but I don't know why LeetCode's being weird. Parent not in self-dot paths. Basic path validation. Okay, I did that. Parts, split it apart. Find the thing, traverse. Check also if you're in, if the parts of 0 incur and not incur, and yeah. Is there like a case where okay, what are they doing differently? I'm doing this too. If part not in no dot children. Yep. List part. If the last part in no dot children. Okay. I feel like my solution is pretty similar to this. I just don't know why mine's failing. I'm getting like the wrong numbers. Like I'm returning false when I shouldn't. Maybe I should get rid of this. I feel like that's the reason why everything is like working here. Oh my god, hold on. Nope. Okay, this is the wrong part then. This works still. Okay, I'm getting the, now I figured it out. I'm not getting the checking if I'm at the end. And yeah. I think 99% of the time you will be going down the tree. Yeah, as long as you have the same route. It's just, yeah. Why do I even have that there? Oh, it's the other. Okay, this is to prevent though. Hold on. This is to prevent. If the cur is in there, then that path already exists. Right? I think every single parent must exist. So like if there was like code, that's fine. But if I want to go code, but let's say, should I check if the last part exists? Like, yeah, let's, instead of checking this, let's do this. If parts of -1 incur, then we return false. Because that's not good. Because we already been that path. That should be the check for the thing. Otherwise, just the current cur is just gonna be $sign val, like this. How about that? No, that doesn't work. Okay, I think every single parent must exist. That's the point. So I'm gonna stop, like, let's do up to the last part. So traverse, keep going into the last, second to last element, right? So it's not gonna include the last element, but everything up in this. So we have the last here. We'll do parts of -1. Then if last in, also if it's not in the thing, return false, because we need to make sure every single one up to the last one is valid. If last incur, GG's, return false. Otherwise, then perfect. The last will have the actual value itself, and then return true. Yeah. Please, bro, please. I'm done with this problem. Finally. See you guys tomorrow.